This world is full of hatred. People take life for granted. Let's stop these senseless killing. Why death must be my sentence? Yeah, man, I don't understand it. Baby, it's hard for me. Why did you take him away from me? But my baby is finally free. Hey mama, don't worry, we'll meet again, you see. I can finally rest in peace.
That was the NDJ remix of Changes by XXX Tentacion. Welcome to the Rise Weekly Review for October 11th through October 17th, 2022. On Monday the 17th, 25-year-old Gerard Bensley was killed in a South Korean shooting. According to reports, Gerard was walking to his vehicle around 5:03 a.m. on the 10700 block of South Bensley. Someone reportedly approached him in a blue Mercedes. Then, someone inside the vehicle began opening fire. The vehicle then sped away, heading south. Gerard was struck in the stomach. He was taken to an area hospital where he later passed away from his injuries. Anyone with information on this or other Chicago crimes is asked to call 311 or leave an anonymous tip at cpdtip.com. Tuesday was a violent day on the southeast side of Chicago as several murders took place. On Tuesday, Curtis Gatewood was shot to death in South Shore. According to Curtis's mother, he was walking on the 1900 block of East 79th Street around 8:38 a.m. on his way to school. Another male reportedly followed 17-year-old Curtis down the block before opening fire. Curtis was struck multiple times in the body. The shooter then fled the scene. Curtis was transported to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. During the week, the Chicago police released a video of the suspected shooter. The suspected shooter is seen driving a vehicle. The shooter then exits the vehicle and enters a CTA bus. The shooter reportedly exited the bus right away. Video shows the man on the bus. Police are seeking assistance in identifying the man.
Day out, we're hearing and seeing and feeling a crime, a loss, or something like that. We are not okay in South Shore. We are mentally not okay. And we are asking for mental health services. We're asking for resources.
We can't wait. We need each other. We need to come together as a neighborhood and support one another.
Our silence equals death. We have to turn in criminals.
On Tuesday, Joshua Quicksay was also shot and killed in South Shore. Around 1:25 p.m., Joshua was on the sidewalk on the 7800 block of South Luella. Details of the shooting are scarce, but according to reports, someone opened fire on him and he was struck. Joshua was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center where he passed away from his injuries. Also on Tuesday, a home invasion led to the death of Jacoby King. 22-year-old Jacoby was in an apartment on the 200 block of East 72nd Place around 2 a.m. According to police, another male, unknown to Jacoby, entered the apartment through the back door and began arguing with him. The man then began firing shots at Jacoby, striking him multiple times in the chest. He then fled the scene. Jacoby was pronounced dead at the scene. On Tuesday, 29-year-old Daniel Ornelas was stabbed to death on the east side. Around 8:45 p.m., Daniel was inside a home on the 10300 block of South Avenue F. Details are scarce, but according to police, Daniel was involved in a verbal altercation with a 61-year-old man by the name of Roberto Silva. According to police, during the argument, Roberto pulled out a knife and began stabbing Daniel. Daniel was stabbed in the chest and neck. Daniel later passed away from his injuries. Roberto, who lived on the same block the stabbing occurred on, was later arrested. He is due in bond court on Thursday. On Saturday, 27-year-old Sterling Wilkins was killed at a shooting at the Millgates in South Chicago. According to reports, Sterling was with a 25-year-old woman on a third-floor hallway around 11 p.m. Someone inside the building fired shots at the pair. Sterling was struck in the back. The woman was hit in the leg. Sterling passed away at the scene. The woman was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where she was last reported in fair condition. In response to the shootings at the Millgates, the East Lake Tenants Union is organizing a protest rally with another Chicago Tenants Union. The rally was set for outside of City Hall for Tuesday, October 18th at 10 a.m. during the time we created this news video. In other news, 33-year-old Gerardo Castillo was arrested on Friday for opening fire on neighbors in East Chicago. According to reports, on October 7th, Gerardo drove up to the alley of an East Chicago residence on the 3900 block of Ivy Street. A man who knew Castillo for 4 or 5 years was in the alley. The man allegedly had been involved in a dispute with a relative of Gerardo. When Gerardo saw the man, they began mean-mugging each other. The man said he put up his fists to fight Gerardo when Gerardo exited the vehicle and began opening fire with a 9mm handgun. He fired about 12 rounds at the man before fleeing. The man was struck by the gunfire in the hip and taken to St. Catherine's Hospital. Police recovered video of the incident. Castillo was charged with felony counts of battery by means of a deadly weapon and battery resulting in serious injury. During the week, reports broke out about Angelica Carrasquillo-Torres' arrest at an East Chicago school. Angelica was a teacher at St. Stanislaus Elementary School located at 4930 Indianapolis Boulevard. According to reports, on Wednesday, around 12:54 a.m., a student went to a counselor and told them that their 5th grade teacher made comments about killing herself, students, and staff at the school. The student reportedly told police that Angelica had a list and the student was at the bottom of the list. The counselor notified the principal and assistant principal, and about 5 p.m. police were called to the school. According to police, the teacher was taken to the principal's office where she admitted that she made those statements and had a kill list. She reportedly gave the name of a specific student on the list, but did not provide police with the list. On Thursday, police arrested Angelica at her home in Griffith. As of the time of this reporting, Angelica was taken to a medical facility for evaluation, but is still in police custody. Charges have yet to be filed. Classes were held virtually on Friday, and counselors were provided to students, but some parents are demanding answers as to why the school waited 4 hours to call police.
If we would have been able to question her at the school, we would have been able to search her classroom with the permission of the school to see if the list is in fact in the school, if there's any weapons in her classroom, if she has a locker. She could have taken the evidence with her. So that's why it was very important to call us at the moment during that interview with her, with the principal.
She should have been notified first, and then we should have been notified that our children were in harm's way.
They could have used the text message system. They could have used the phone system to contact us to let us know what is going on.
Where is the diocese?
Why didn't you contact us immediately?
On Thursday, a pedestrian was struck near the Windsor Park station in South Shore. According to reports, train 3112 had struck a man around 8:30 a.m. near the station located at 75th and Exchange. The man was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where he was last reported in stable condition. A $1 million winning lottery ticket was sold in Calumet City. A player matched all 5 Powerball numbers in Wednesday's game. K&R Candy, located at 15 River Oaks Drive, sold the winning ticket. Store owner Kirat Patel will receive a bonus of 1% of the prize amount, or $10,000, for selling the winning ticket. The winning ticket holder has not yet been identified. And finally, early voting has already begun in Illinois and Indiana for the midterm elections. In Illinois, voter registration is open until October 23rd at the website ova.elections.il.gov. Indiana voter registration is currently closed. Voting for the November midterm elections is open to registered voters in both states. The midterm elections will allow voters to vote for various state representatives, including state House, Senate, and courts in both Illinois and Indiana. In Illinois, voting will also be held for governor and state Supreme Court, along with the ballot initiative to certify rights to union collective bargaining in the state constitution. Voting is also open for federal U.S. senators and House of Representatives seats in both states. In Chicago, early voting will be held weekdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. until October 31st, in which hours will be extended to 7 p.m. until November 7th. On Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 7th Ward voting will be held at Trumbull Park, in the 8th Ward at Adolph Harvey, in the 9th at Palmer Park, and in the 10th Ward at the Vodak Library. The Calumet City Library will host early voting from October 31st to November 4th until 7 p.m. In Chicago Heights, Prairie State College will host early voting. In Indiana, absentee voting began for registered voters on October 12th and will run into the 7th at noon in Crown Point. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, voting will be held from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Thursdays from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. All other early voting will take place from October 12th to November 7th between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mondays through Wednesday and Friday, while Thursday will be from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. In East Chicago, early voting will be held at the County Courthouse, in Hammond at the County Courthouse, and in Hobart at the Police Comm Center. NBC News Chicago has more information on Illinois voting times at bit.ly/3S88Q5. For Indiana, please check the Lake County information at bit.ly/3 ES_L_y_F. And that ends our weekly review for October 11th through October 17th, 2022. Thank you for joining us for this week in review. Peace.
I don't understand it. My baby's life done ended. Why did this have to happen? It was just the beginning. We can make a change. Love is all we need. We can make a change. Love is all